Man, when we're in our 20s, our teens, we look at people that's in their 40s, and I don't know about you, but me, I felt like those were old people, right? You guys are too old, man. You 40, like, man, you too old. And then I became 40. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why life starts at 40. Now, if this is your first time watching my videos, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let me know where you're from in the comments. Let's talk about it. I want to show you how I made $2,200 while I was on this ATV in Mexico a few days ago. Tap the school link in the bio and I'll see you there. Okay, so the first reason is, and I got some notes over here, clarity of purpose, right? When you hit your 40s, I feel like you kind of know yourself better, right? When I was in my 20s, all I wanted to do was chase women, at least until I got married. Sorry, babe. And then in my 30s, it felt like I took all of my 30s to try to figure life out, right? And then once I hit my 40s, it was kind of like, okay, I no longer have time to play around. So take this, like literally, if you're 20 or you're 30, the best thing that you can do right now for your life right now is to take it seriously. If you're in your 20s, stop the chasing women and get your act together. If you're in your 30s, stop chasing the women and get your act together. Because once you get to your 40s, you can't play around. I'm walking in Walmart and seeing people that are 60 and 70 still working. And I have family members that's 70, 80 years old, still working a 9-to-5 job and still not making enough money. That is not how nobody does that because they want to do that. Nobody. People do that because they have to, or they feel like they have to. The next reason is financial stability, right? When you've spent your 20s and your 30s learning and making mistakes, by the time you get to your 40s, you've made a lot of mistakes already, and you kind of say, okay, now I don't want to make those same mistakes anymore. I don't even have to make those mistakes anymore. Now it's about me taking me and my family to the next level. What do I need to do? So I feel like, a lot of people, there's a percentage of men, women that feel like their 40s, you're too old. But if you feel like that, your life is already over. I feel that you're not old in your 40s. You're ready. You're ready. This is your time where your life changes, and it changes for the good. Now, next, confidence, right? Like I said earlier, you've made the mistakes. You've already made a lot of mistakes. Now, if you're still making mistakes in your 40s, that's perfectly fine because that's a part of life. But at some point, you're going to have to figure out that, okay, now I'm in my 40s. It's time to get clear on what I'm going to do. Your 40s is your third quarter of life. Think about it. The first quarter is your 20s. The second quarter is your 30s. The third quarter is your 40s. The fourth quarter is from 50 up. So you still have a chance right now to make sure that your 50 and up looks incredible. But that's based on what you do today. And in order to do that, you got to have the confidence, man. You got to have the confidence. It's too many men walking around with their heads down, not knowing what to do because life is beating them up. If you're a man, life is supposed to beat you up. If you're a woman, guess what? Life is supposed to beat you up. Only those that are strong enough and have the confidence to keep going are the ones that survive, right? Next, stronger boundaries. Now, I love that, right? I love that. I noticed in my 40s, I stopped people pleasing. I could care less how people feel about me. I could care less what people say or think about me. I could care less. Right now, the only thing that matters is my health and my family's. That's it. Of course, and I don't say, of course, God first, of course, I always keep God first. But when you get in your 40s, all that other stuff stops. It just don't matter no more. It don't matter no more, right? Next. Better relationships, better relationships. You value quality over quantity in friendships and love. That's when you start to become wise in your 40s. And in my opinion, at least in my case, I was wise before, but I was a knucklehead before. Next, emotional maturity. You handle challenges with resilience instead of drama. Whoo, now that's true. That's true. Because there were some challenges I dealt with in my 20s that, I didn't think I would I didn't think I would ever make it out of it. I didn't think I would ever make it out of that. Right? I'm grateful that I did, but I didn't think I would ever make it out. Right? And let's keep moving. Next, career power. You've built skills that allow you to pivot, start a business, or demand respect. That's what I'm preaching, and I'm not preaching, but that's what I'm telling you right now. Me being 46 right now, I learned high income skills when I was around 32, 33. Because I learned those skills then, I am able, no matter what happens in my business, to just pivot and go in a different direction. Most people out here in their 40s are, if they lose one job, they're forced to go and find another one. I'm not out here looking for jobs, right? Because I have skills. I know how to brand myself. I know how to advertise. I know how to market. I know how to get attention. I know how to grow an audience. I know how to sell. These are the skills that I learned in my 30s that have not went anywhere. I'm able to use them on a continuous basis right now, right? Next, health awareness. In your 40s, most people, you take better care of your body because longevity matters. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm in the gym 3 to 5 times a week every week. And I'm not just in the gym, I'm working on my eating. Instead of the candy, instead of the sodas, instead of the chips and the crackers and the cookies and the bread and all of the other things that cause disease and all of these other crazy things and dysfunctional things in your bodies, when you get in your 40s, that's the time to start, you got to eliminate some of that stuff, man. Because you can want to be wealthy, but if you're not healthy, then you'll never be able to be wealthy because you won't live long enough to be able to even enjoy the money that you're making. Next, stronger intuition. You trust your gut more than anyone else's opinion. Now, that's true. In your 40s, you definitely trust your gut more than anyone else's opinion. The next thing is you no longer chase every trend or event. You enjoy what you love. Now, that's 100% true, because I don't chase every trend. Like, one funny thing that happened to me that I never thought would happen to me is my kids always say, "No, Dad, you can't wear that because that's not in style." And now I find myself like, I don't care what's in style. I wear what I want to wear. If it looks good to me, I'm wearing it. That happened to me. It may not happen to you, but that happened to me, right? Next, parenting confidence. If you have kids, you parent with patience and wisdom, not fear. Now, that I have to agree and disagree. Now, I agree because you do learn your kids after a certain point, right? But as far as parenting without fear, I find that to be difficult for any parent that loves their kids because these days there's just so much that kids can get themselves into. It's just so much. Social media is just not, it's so many things that could take our kids away, that, I don't operate out of fear, but I'm always praying and thinking about my kids. Always. Next, new opportunities. Many people start thriving businesses or new careers after 40. Think about that. So while you're thinking it's too late, many people start thriving businesses and careers after the age of 40. Next, resilience. After surviving setbacks, you know how to bounce back stronger. That's true. One day I'm going to tell my story, and man, when I tell you I've been through hell and back, I will have you in tears listening to all of the things that I've been through. Because I have been through so many things, and you wouldn't even be able to believe that I'm still standing. You wouldn't even believe it. Next, authenticity. You finally feel free to be yourself without apology. That's true. That's true. Like I said earlier, I no longer care what anyone thinks about me. I can care less. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care, Next, we have 3 more. Appreciation of time. You stop wasting time and start living with intention. That's true. I hate wasting time. I do not like wasting time. That is not something that I am prepared to do. I don't want to waste time with nobody. I don't even answer the phone all the time. Especially when I look at the phone and I know the person that's on that phone is going to talk about something that's not going to take me or them to another level. Next, deeper connections. You know, conversations and relationships feel rich and more genuine, right? And that's true. Last but not least, second half mindset. You realize the best years can still be ahead and you start living fully. Now, there's a lot of reasons that life starts after your 40s, but these are just the reasons that I came up with. Now, if you have any more reasons, let me know in the comments. Let's learn together, right? If you want to know how to make more money and you want to learn, you know, without breaking the bank and without, you know, going and doing a bunch of crazy things like I'm hearing people say and do right now, then you can tap the link in the bio. I have a group. It was free, but what I'm noticing is people don't respect free. So if you're still here on this video, my trainings teaching you everything from affiliate marketing to making money, you know, to digital marketing, to YouTube automation, everything you need to learn, I'm only charging. The investment is only $25 a month. You're going to be learning from experts every month, myself included. We're going to have live classes, everything that you need in order to make money online. If you want to know how to start an audience, I'm going to be able to look at your social media and say, okay, this is what you're doing wrong. This is how to correct it. So you'll literally have me in your corner and other people, a community as well. That information is in the bio. I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Peace.